This is Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers on our Ravens YouTube channel. We're past the 4,000 mark. Thank you guys so much, but we need your help to get to that 5K mark and to get to 1 million subscribers across all of the different Chat Sports channels. So if you want free Ravens videos, then subscribe right now. You're watching Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey, and I am back with a fresh and new 7-round NFL mock draft for the Baltimore Ravens. Does it feature trades? If you put it in the headline, you know already, but we'll see what happens in this one. Ravens picking 14. I did not trade up in round 1 there. Some notable picks off the board. Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson, and George Karlaftis all gone. Edge rushers picked over early. Stinks for the Ravens. Derek Stingley also gone. Zion Johnson off the board too. So for me, bit of a thin grouping of players that really make sense for the Ravens. 4 guys here. Jordan Davis, there's one of them. Tyler Linderbaum is on the board here as well. The center who I love. Devin Lloyd, if you want to go linebacker, he's the best one. And I guess Chris Olave at wide receiver. Again, it was a bit of a thin grouping for the Ravens. It really came down for me, either Jordan Davis or Tyler Linderbaum. Before we get to my pick, I want to hear from you guys. Let's say this is how the board falls. Who would you pick? And if you got somebody else in mind who was maybe a later round 1 pick that is realistic to be there, cool. Who do you got? CO for Chris Olave, DL for Devin Lloyd, TL for Tyler Linderbaum, or JD, for defensive lineman Jordan Davis. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if that ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know who you would pick at number 14. I'm going Jordan Davis here. There's a lot to love about this particular prospect. You do not find players who are built in the way that Jordan Davis is. 6'6" and change, 341. This level of athletic testing is unheard of for a defensive lineman. To run one of the fastest 40-yard dashes, to have one of the best broad jumps in defensive tackle history, while being one of the heaviest and tallest players in combine history, is unbelievable. From a relative size perspective, the only better athletic testing in combine history than Jordan Davis was Calvin Johnson. That's the level of prospect we're talking about. Now, the stats were not great for Jordan Davis at Georgia. The pressure numbers were not great. But I still think you would be able to find a way to develop him in that area. He's a flawless fit in the Ravens' defensive scheme. I would love this pick for the Ravens at number 14. It's a damn logical one. Now, we told you guys there were trades as part of this mock draft. So before our next pick, well, I made some wheeling and dealing to go get one. I am moving up back into round 1. I'm getting pick number 19 from Philadelphia in exchange for number 45, number 110, and a 2023 first-round pick. It is a lot, but I'm moving way up in this year's draft to go get the guy I almost picked at 14, Tyler Linderbaum. Congrats, Ravens fans. I got you guys 2 top 10 prospects outside the top 10. Yeah, I give my future first. Whatever. I've solidified my interior defensive line play and my center play. Linderbaum is the opposite of Jordan Davis. Davis is this hulking, massive human being. Linderbaum is much smaller. He is undersized for a center. Height, weight, arm length, all of it. Didn't matter. We tend to do this in the draft community. Closer to the draft, we start to really nitpick good players. That's why I wrote down in my notes, don't be dumb. He's a stud. He is good at football. He's an instant day 1 starter at center. I call him Fat Jason Kelce. That's the type of player I think you could end up getting here out of Linderbaum. So if you like the start of this mock draft, then do me a favor. Like the video right now. I think I nailed it. If you agree with me, show it by liking this video right now. All right, 3rd round now. I still want to get some edge up, and I found one. Nik Bonitto, who I think is a good fit in the Ravens' more 3-4 style. You're hoping for Hassan Reddick. The concern is you end up with more of a Tim Williams speed rusher here. Fantastic pressure rate at Oklahoma. The juice, the athletic ability is absolutely there. He is a bit undersized, a bit skinny. He didn't produce the sack numbers you would expect based on his pressure rate. Maybe that's just the Oklahoma defense, which is kind of weird from there. Not a great power player. He might be a DPR, a designated pass rusher only in his career, but I can take that guy in the third round and feel really damned good about it. Let's stick in the SEC. Ravens love those guys. Pick 100. I think this is great value. Channing Tindall, the linebacker out of Georgia. 0 career starts for the Bulldogs, although that linebacking core was absolutely loaded, so don't read too much into that. Good tackler, by the way, didn't miss tackles very often. Very impressive. His speed is top-notch, and you always want more speed on defense. Now, because he hasn't played that much at Georgia, there's really kind of 1 year of really being a rotation player. You've got to give him time. The instincts have to come along. So this might be a bit of a redshirt year for Tindall. What you should do is go sign Bobby Wagner, bring him in, and you can still draft Tindall back into the third round. Give him a year. Let Wagner leave, go get more money elsewhere, get a comp pick back for Wagner, and boom. Now you're playing the draft free agency game perfectly. So I've taken 3 defensive players already, just the one offensive guy right now. Do you agree with that or no? Which side of the ball do you think the Ravens should focus on in the draft? Type O for the offensive side, or type in, or OS for the offensive side, it's right there on screen, Tom, or DS for the defensive side. Let's get an offensive pick here. Wan'Dale Robinson, pick 119. I think this is really good value here. The numbers were awesome at Kentucky this year. Very unique player. He's very undersized. He's got short arms. I mean, you can kind of tell by the photo there. He looks tiny. He's not a big guy. That's okay. He's going to discount Rondale Moore for me. I don't know how much he's going to be able to win downfield, but once the ball is in his hands, he is electric. You can use him as, a short area of the field guy. You can use him as a running back if you want to. It's very funny to me when we use we just default to the program size, right? College says this. Kentucky says Wan'Dale Robinson was 5'11", 185. He was 5'8", 170 to the combine. So we were off by 3 inches. It's like all of Jeremy's size. That's a pretty big gap right there. So for Robinson, 4th round, I'm all aboard there. Might have to scheme for him, but he's also got return value. He is dynamic once the ball gets in his hands. Ravens draft hats are available now. Those just released by the NFL and Fanatics. Head over to chatsports.com/Ravens draft hats. I think the gold against the purple actually works better than most of the others out there. And I kind of love the blackout hats as well. I'm glad you put that one in there, Jeremy, because those I just like the blackouts. It works well. Head over to chatsports.com/Ravens draft hats for all the draft hats for this year for the Baltimore Ravens, the official NFL ones. Check the comments section and the description for that link. All right, pick 128 now, Alontae Taylor out of Tennessee. He tested very well at the combine. Tested like an elite-level athlete. Good size, by the way, 6 foot and change, 1'9", so actually pretty accurate. Good arm length, too, 32 inches. The transitions, the fluidity are not great. I think he's better straight line than he is going kind of side to side with quicks. That's okay. I think he can be a really good backup corner for you. Some say maybe he moves to safety. I'm going to keep him at corner. At minimum, I think you've got a core special teamer with upside to be maybe a number 3 corner for you long term. 139, Max Mitchell. This is your potential swing tackle long term. Kind of a tricky prospect for me. 6'6", 307 at the combine, but that's kind of a skinny frame for an offensive tackle. Strength is an issue. Did not test that great. I think he tried to bulk up a little bit too much. I think swing tackle is what he ends up being in the NFL. He's a less athletic version of a Connor Williams from a play style standpoint there. I've heard good things about his leadership. Pretty solid overall, but I think he's limited by the power issues and the average athletic testing. But those Louisiana boys for the Raging Cajuns, their technique's pretty damned good. And I think that will help him early in the NFL. Who is your favorite sleeper in this year's NFL draft? Let me know in the comment section which player you've got your eye on later on in this year's class. Best name in the draft, Smoke Monday. Again, program size here. He's closer to 6'2" than he is 6'3". He is a box safety, I believe, in the NFL. Take him because of the elite name. Like, he's going to be a good player. Like, you can't be named Smoke Monday and not be at least a good backup in the NFL. I think strong safety, which isn't always where he played at Auburn, is going to be his fit in the NFL. Athletic testing was okay. He bites on the play fake a lot, but there is special teams value here, and that matters outside the top 150. I was surprised to see Josh Jobe fall all the way down to pick 196. The hope here is you luck into Levi Wallace 2.0, another former Bama corner. Some people say maybe because he's a good tackler. He's a physical player, good size, good arm length. He wasn't as good this year. Now, he did play through a foot injury, and I think that did impact him fairly significantly. But back end here, barely top 200. I think he's definitely worth a flyer, hoping he improves on his, if you go back to 2020 version of Josh Jobe, that guy I thought was going to push for a top 50 pick. Didn't take the step forward that I was hoping for, but I thought there is upside here, and we've seen the Ravens in the past have some pretty darn good success with former Alabama corners. Probably not going to be as good as some other ones, but I think it's valuable there. So this is my Ravens mock draft here. Jordan Davis at number 14, the Georgia defensive tackle. Iowa center Tyler Linderbaum at number 19. Nik Bonitto at number 76, the Oklahoma edge rusher. Channing Tindall, the Georgia linebacker, at pick number 100. Wan'Dale Robinson at pick number 119. That is the wide receiver out of Kentucky. Remember, I traded up in round 1 to go get Linderbaum again. Cost me my second, another fourth rounder because I've got so many of those, and my future first as well. Alontae Taylor, the Tennessee corner, at number 128. Max Mitchell, the Louisiana swing tackle prospect, at number 139. Auburn safety Smoke Monday at number 154, and Alabama corner Josh Jobe at number 196. So grade this mock draft for me. A, B, C, D, or F. How do you feel about what I did? You can be honest for me in the comments section. I think I nailed it, but I want to hear from you right now.